maximizing social media to market your business and or communicate with consumers and your unit members? Who'd like to start that?
I'll take that. So first of all, everybody, happy good morning. You've heard the question of the day. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm not ready for this question. Karime, why don't you take it?
Christi. Of course. Well, I want to share with you that I use social media as a tool. I have a diverse unit, so I have some English-speaking consultants and I have some Spanish-speaking consultants. So I have my personal Facebook page, and I have a business group where I have all my Spanish-speaking consultants, and I have an English unit group. So I target to my audience. I do hold meetings on Monday nights, so I have a live video, so all my out-of-state consultants have the opportunity to be trained. I also have celebrations of new red jackets. We have a collage celebrating their successes, so we celebrate every new consultant that comes into our unit, and we celebrate all the new senior consultants, and we celebrate birthdays. So I find that my beauty consultants get so excited to see their picture and their celebration for the day. And they are expecting to see my trainings every single week, so I find it helpful. I also like to create an environment of winning people, so that creates that environment for me and my unit members, and I find that it works. Now, I want you to know that we need to become creative when it comes to benefiting your beauty consultants, because what we want to do is create an environment for them to grow. So, we have our unit meetings every single week, and we connect with our beauty consultants that way. Some other beauty consultants like to be connected by Facebook Lives. We got to do what we got to do, and there's some amazing opportunities that we can take out there.
Awesome. Love that. I love that. So I am not a social media guru. I have some brilliant friends that are. I love them. It's the only reason really they're my friend. No, I'm just kidding. But I do a lot with my unit page. So I do a lot of the celebrations like you're talking about, but I don't do a ton of social media outside of that. I don't scroll a lot. I had to really watch that for myself personally, and so I'll go in and I'll post things. I do post pictures of my family because I really do want them to see my life, but the real piece that I use is my unit page, and I do celebrations. I do new products. I talk about the new products because I know that my very best customers are my consultants. And that is a way that I can reach more of the masses than I can otherwise. So making sure that there is great product information on there is just as important to me as the celebration piece of it.
I would like to add one final little piece, but first of all, I have to unashamedly admit that I'm a Chiefs fan. I promise I'm going to bring this full circle, but I'm a Chiefs fan. So I could not watch part of the game yesterday, and I turned on, I looked at the score in the first quarter, and how many of you watched the game? How many of you saw the first quarter? How many of you feel like your business is a little bit like the first quarter of the Chiefs game? I don't even think they made the scoreboard in the first quarter of the game. I'm pretty sure I'm on target for the wheel of a skateboard right now. But the point of my story is, I feel like the Chiefs, well, clearly they won, okay? But the question here is a good one. The question is, how do you maximize social media? And so I feel like when you're at this point of the game where you feel like you might be down and out, there's no way to win, how can you not only use social media to maximize you? So the question is not necessarily how are you maximizing social media. The question is, how can social media maximize you? Because you've got to lead your team to the final finish, and you've got to raise your level of performance, and you've got to change your mind to change your reality. So the question is, social media, does it maximize you or does it minimize you? And so if you're using it in a way as a tool that you become mindless, it's not the tool for you. If you get on and you scroll and all of a sudden you bought something from China, it's not the tool for you.
Yeah.
It can happen.
Love it.
May or may not have happened too many times. So I just would like to be the voice that says, I think one of the biggest problems we have in leadership is we lead in an era of distraction. And if this can be the tool to help you maximize your focus, the principle might be restraint. And so if there's a voice in your heart or in your head or in your spirit that says, I wonder if I could be successful if I could tune into this and tune into that and minimize my distractions, I'm here to tell you that you can.
Wow. Okay. Such great answers. Thank you so much. We'll dive into the next question, which is actually related to this, the first question. So, your second question is, Mary Kay Ash always said that this is a face-to-face relationship business. You get toe-to-toe, belly button to belly button with people, customers to teach them skincare and or how to work your business. So ladies, how does that fit in today's environment or today's society in terms of what's working for you in booking and coaching and selling and team building, knowing that Mary Kay Ash always said that this is a relationship business? Who wants to dive into that? Okay, you're on.
I would like to start by this. I end every single one of my skincare classes going around the room, and I always ask them two questions, and I always say, what do you love most about how your skin feels, like we were trained? And what did you love most about today? And never fail, never fail. Someone, if not everyone, says something to the effect of, I loved girlfriend time. I didn't know how much I needed this. When was the last time we saw each other? When was the last time we got together? People don't get together anymore. And so I feel like there's this very subtle, in this feeling that we've lost this compellingness to get competent in our work. And we've lost this belief that there is power in our presence. And we've lost this, and we're being seduced by this lie that it's easier to make money behind a screen than it is in our presence. And so I would just say to you, if you've bought that lie, what if you could leave from where you are right now? What if your presence is the thing that she needs to transform her mind or her heart? Or what if she needs you? So I would say not only is it a smart marketing plan, it's the nicest thing, the neatest thing, the coolest thing we can do for our spirit right now. And what if Mary Kay needs you to lead from where you are right now?
I feel that trust is built by a personal relationship. So I see that when I get pretty and I get excited and I am passionate when I'm in front of people, I can make things happen. And I don't know if you feel the same way, but you give power to other people. But if you don't have that power within you, you can't give what you don't have. So it's very important for us to analyze ourselves and to be the best that we can be so other people can follow our footsteps. So every time I get up, I just think to myself, how can I be a blessing to someone? So it doesn't matter how many people you see every single day, just make sure you have the best attitude and the best smile.
Awesome. Okay, Paula. Good. Wow. So Mary Kay Ash, the business model is relevant as it was when she first started. Absolutely. Okay. So ladies, we're going to dive into the third question, and this is a meaty one. This is a good one. This is one of the most popular questions that we receive as a sales ed department. So question number 3. Panelists, ladies, can you share some successful strategies for working with and empowering beauty consultants to keep them engaged and retain them?
I'm so excited about this question, so I'm going to start, okay? Here is the most important thing I truly believe, is to listen to them, to not go in. I know that we do a business planning session or a new consulting session or whatever you call it. We go in with an agenda, and I'm going to encourage you to set the agenda aside and really listen to them and hear them, find out what they truly, truly want and need. Because if you know that, it is the golden ticket to keep them, to get them what they want and need. It may not be at the speed that we can see it happening in, but if we know what they want and need and really listen to them, women want to be heard. They want to be heard. That's what's missing in this world. And so we're talking about doing appointments in person. People want to be heard. They want to be actually seen, not from a screen, not from a text. They want to be seen and heard. I learned a long time ago that to tell new consultants that I need 3 things from them. I need them to trust me, I need them to communicate with me, and I need them to show up.
Oh, that's good. I'm writing that.
Should you write that down? Yeah, okay. I would love to take credit for that, but my mother-in-law happens to be a national sales director emeritus, so she's the one that taught me that. You can totally give her credit. And so that's what I tell them from the very beginning, is if you'll give me those 3 things, then I can help you with anything. And then I hold them accountable to that, and I ask them if that's okay. This is what you want, this is what you need. I can teach you how to get that, but I need you to communicate with me. And if you don't, I will come find you, and I will remind you what you told me that you wanted and that you needed, and keep that in front of them all the time. We have to love them enough to lead them, to truly lead them. And I believe that means that we hold them with an open hand. When we're working from a desperate place, it's very hard to keep what they want and need as the forefront of our mind and not have a timetable or an agenda of our own. And so if I can love them enough to lead them, I speak truth, and then I say, I love you, and I'll be here when you're ready.
I love that. Love them with an open hand. Awesome. Karime, how would you answer that question?
You know, I do believe that this opportunity was given to me 16 years ago, and is the best gift that I have ever gotten. And I get goosebumps telling you this, but I feel that. So every time I have the opportunity to share the business with someone, I tell them this. I'm giving you the opportunity that was given to me 16 years ago, and it completely changed my world. And I just want to give you this opportunity so you can create your own story. So, as a sales director, my role is to help them see what Mary Kay can create for them. And when I have a deep conversation with that consultant or that prospect, I have an opportunity to see how Mary Kay can embrace that being that she has. So as her coach, as her leader, I let her know that I love everybody where they're at and that I'm here whenever they're ready to step up. I know there's times that consultants don't answer the phone. I know there's times that consultants call you every single minute, and I know, we all know this, right? But you have to know that you are the leader, you are the coach, and you have to be prepared, from the inside out, so you can give the best to them, because they rely on you, because you're that person that trusts, and you're the one that sees their potential. You're the one that knows what they're capable of, and you have to be that reminder for them. So I feel that my consultants know where I train, so when they're ready to jump back on my bus, they know where I'm at. So I always am there, so they can show up whenever they want to. They always get a text message, a call, a reminder. So I find ways to communicate with them in different, platforms. I try to follow up as much as I can. Mary Kay said follow up is the key, so that is my role as their sales director. And, I always talk to my beauty consultants about, according to your goal, that's the activity that you need to have. So I find that a lot of our beauty consultants get discouraged because they have these amazing, huge goals, and their activity level is really low. So I had a beauty consultant in my unit on Tuesday last week, and she asked me, she's a senior consultant, and she's like, okay, so what do I need to do to become a Cadillac director? And I just looked at her, and I said, that's a very good question, but let's just look at the next step. Let's talk about becoming a rental first, and then team leader, and then, VIP, become a director, and then we can talk about Cadillac. And the reason I do this to you is because I don't want to overwhelm you, because I put myself in your shoes, and if my director was to tell me you need to do this to be a Cadillac director, I don't think I would have ever done it. So, a confused mind does nothing. And what I want to focus my consultants is the next step. Let's go to the next step. So what did you do this month that makes you proud? What are we doing next month? And let's work towards that. That is my way of trying to help my beauty consultants.
Can I throw
that helps?
Yes, jump in.
Let me throw one more thing in there when you're talking about next steps, be honest with your people. Quit sugarcoating what it actually takes to do this. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, and it takes work.
Yes.
And so I think when we minimize and say, well, let me teach you how to be a Cadillac, and we say, if you'll just see a few faces, or whatever craziness we throw out, in our effort to sell them on the position, I just think we do an injustice to this business and to what Mary Kay's about. And I think that that's just not reality. So we need to be truthful. If we ask them to trust us, we need to be trustworthy, and we need to speak truth.
Absolutely brilliant. Yes.
Bring the heat.
Yes. Absolutely.
I think I would like to also add this. So in terms of successful strategies for working with our people, P.S., my favorite thing I hear is, I'm sure you never hear this, is I'm going to put my business on the back burner. I'm like, what was over on the front burner? So clearly they've been thinking.
They've been working.
About trying to maybe sort of do it.
It's near the stove.
It's near the
stove.
right there. I just make a reservation. So the successful strategy is, what story are they telling themselves about success, and what story are you telling yourself when they say those things? So if we're dealing with successful strategies, I think we all come to the table. I think we come to an event to get courage to do what we need to do, and confirmation that we're on the right path.
Let me write that down.
And so I think that what I would like to speak to in a successful strategy is if you could hold on to the story that you're a very, very, very successful seed planter, then you've done your job. And so if you can marry the story that I sow liberally, I sow generously, I sow with joy, I sow with love, and whatever that seed does with her gift is not my job. I've done my job.
Wow.
And so if you can stand and deliver it so liberally and generously and with love and with joy and with care and water your seeds, then it's not your job to gestate that plant, right? So I would just like to say to you, you are very, very, very successful seed planters, or you would not be in this room.
Yes.
Awesome. Wow, absolutely brilliant. I hope that answers that question, right? Feel good? Yes. Received that message from these three awesome directors. Okay, let's move to question number 4. This one's a really juicy one too, and one of the I would say this is the most popular question that we receive from you guys. So when I say it, you won't find it surprising. So question number 4 is, what advice or insight would you share with these wonderful directors out here on how you're working your personal Mary Kay business, being the leader of your unit, helping others to reach their goal, leading yourself, figuring out the current situation, all of that, and then some. What would you say to these fabulous women out here? Who wants to start? Yeah.
They want me to start.
Yes.
So good. So I want to tell a little story.
If she tells the best stories.
And the funniest too.
Yes.
She has the greatest laugh.
Okay, we want to hear the story.
All right.
Yes.
You may not. So, how many of you are, I'm going to start here. How many of you are familiar with Brene Brown? Okay. So, whether you are or not, it's not important to the story, but she asks this really valid question about, are people doing their best? And so she's a quantitative researcher, and so what she does is she studies people's emotions, and she knows how to analyze all of that data. I don't know how you analyze emotional data, but she's a pro at it. So anyway, part of her story is that she asked everybody that she studies this question, believe it or not, the jury split. So when she asked this question, 50% of the question asker says no, people are not doing their best. 50% say yes, people are doing their best. And so my question for you is this. So I want you to do a little experiment with me right now. I want you to take just a hot second and write down the person in your unit that drives you the craziest.
I got it.
I got it.
She has sand in her lips.
If you've been in this business more than 15 minutes, you probably can come up with something fast, yes? Okay, so, everybody got their person? Okay. So, what if I were to come down and tell you, not me, but what if you were to be told that the Lord Jesus Christ was going to come down right now and just say to you and tap you on the shoulder and say, I want to assure you beyond a shadow of a doubt that this person is doing their best.
Blank stares.
Pretty sure that's not Jesus that just told you that.
She's saying that they actually.
So here was my aha moment about this. Two things actually. Thing number one is what just changed in your perspective of your leadership of this person. How do you lead her differently? And my suspicion is there's been a weight lifted. Yes? And my suspicion is you now feel more compassionate towards her. Yes?
It's funny.
And my suspicion is now you are invited to form and firm some more complete boundaries. Yes? So here's my other aha. So I've actually done this exercise twice. The first time was in a different setting. It wasn't quite phrased that way. I was actually at a symposium about leadership and forgiveness. We won't go into that. That's a different thing. And so when I was posed this question this time, I'm like, oh, I got it. But I actually couldn't think of anybody. And I saw that the person on the list that I wrote down was me. So the question now becomes, what can we do to get you at your best and your finest? What question do you need to ask for yourself? What pathway do you need to clear? What conversation do you need to have? What help do you need to hire? What system do you need to implement or decrease? What do you need to do? Who do you need to be to keep you at your best and your finest? Because what if this is your finest hour? And so the tool is you ask yourself a what if question, because usually that's a fear-based response. And if you ask yourself a what if question, what if ignites your imagination? And imagination is always a higher energy than fear. And so what if that question was meant for you? And what if you've got a pathway back home to go to the Super Bowl? And what if this is going to be your best year yet?
Christi Campbell.
Sure, I'll follow that. Fine. I've got notes. Okay. So I will tell you that this last few years has been really interesting in my family. And so this was such a great question because 3 years ago we found out that my mom had stomach cancer. And then a few months later, we got our daughter out of a domestic violence situation. And so that puts how do you do your Mary Kay business? I feel like in a whole real different perspective. And I am one that was always very driven by the scoreboard, by the position, and I'm not proud of that. I'm just being real with you. And when those kind of things happen, guess what? You get to choose. What's most important? And I will be honest with you that the scoreboard was not on the top of my list, nor was any position that I thought I wanted to achieve. But that doesn't mean that I set my Mary Kay business down. I had the ability to still provide financially for my family in the process of doing all of those things. So my question to you would be, what are your priorities? And if I looked at your calendar and if I looked at your schedule, would I be able to see that without having a conversation with you? And so when my people come to me and say, this is what I want to earn a Cadillac and I signed my agreement yesterday or whatever, I say, tell me about your priorities. Because that's the real question. I can tell you how, on paper, to achieve any goal in this business that I've already achieved, right? I've done it. But that's not the right filter. The right filter is your priorities. And so when I write down my priorities, then I ask myself now, what is my goal based on how those things fit into my life? And I will tell you that when I was sitting with my mom when she was taking her last breath, I have no regrets. I have not a single regret. And would you be able to say the same thing? Wow. Would you be able to say, I set my priorities, I chose what was important. You know what? If I'm supposed to be a national sales director, and I believe that's where I'm supposed to be, then God's already got the timing worked out. He's got the miracles worked out. I don't have to worry about that. I just have to honor the people that I love, I have to honor my family, and I have to honor Him. And He will take care of the rest. So how do you lead your consultants? You figure out what yours are, and you live by them. And you know what? They'll follow your lead. We are not in this business just for this business. And if you think we are, I think I would love for you to look back at what Mary Kay wrote, because that's not what she said. She really looked at this business as a vehicle to have the most amazing life anybody could ever dream of when we put our priorities in order.
We are here because of our choices. So I do want to say that your choices are very important. I started Mary Kay as a single person. I didn't have kids. I lived with my parents. I was going to college. And when I joined Mary Kay, I gave it my all. I mean, I could leave my house at 9 in the morning and I could go back at 9 p.m. and I could work all day and it was fun. Then I got married and I adjusted. I moved to a different city. I earned my pink Cadillac. I grew and I had 5 new offspring sales directors, and then I became a mother. And when I became a mother, my son is 6, and I'm going to tell you, I have not worked my business the same way as I started because of him. And I don't regret it because these moments are mine. So when I was a new consultant, I remember I went to the unit meeting, and my national sales director was an executive sales director, that elite executive that day, and her husband presented her with a base with Rosas, and there was 8 directors in front of me, and I picture myself and a pregnant woman that her check was $5,000 that month. So I thought to myself, I was 21 at the time, I was like, okay, I want to be like her when I get to be her age. I picture myself pregnant in a new car with a $5,000 check. You know, when Emmanuel came, I was a Cadillac sales director. I was making over $5,000, and I provided a different lifestyle for my son. Now I have 2 kids. I have a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old, and their moments are mine. I have help at the house. I enjoy every single moment, every single day. I get those good morning hugs and those kisses, and I sprinkle my Mary Kay in my life. It's not, I'm Karime Rosas. Mary Kay is my business. It's not who I am. And when I use social media, going back to that, I sprinkle what my priorities are: God, family, and career, right? So we are where we're at because of the choices, the decisions, the actions that we take. So we need to be really careful, in controlling our emotions and knowing that, sometimes we have setbacks, but anytime you have a setback, that makes you stronger. So use everything that you face that makes you down to become a stronger human being, because you're that leader that's going to empower other women. And if you face that, that gives you the strength and the knowledge to help another person that's going through the same things. So I do believe that everything that we face, that everything that we experience, that's meant to be. Because there's a learning lesson in every single thing that we face.
Awesome. Aren't these women just amazing? Such heart and knowledge. So that actually finishes our questions for this morning, and we have a little bit of time. So I'm actually going to ask the three of them to give one last final thought. It can be on anything. So we asked the 4 questions. Maybe this morning we could close the panel out. Just final thoughts. Anything that you want to share with these wonderful ladies in the audience? Who would like to start?
I cannot wait to hear this.
Adding to this question, Mary Kay, I would always say just go back and read Miracles Happen book, because that's the true story of our founder. And you're going to find the motivation, the knowledge, the courage, and anything that you need in your career, no matter where you're at. If you're a new sales director, if you're about to be a national, or if you are where you don't want to be, that's going to be your inspiration, because Mary Kay wore all the hats. And you can find it in there. So if you want true inspiration, honor your company, honor Mary Kay Ash, and try to emulate her example.
Awesome. Thank you, Kirsten. Paula?
There's 2 things. I think the first thing is there are a lot of national sales directors retiring. Have you noticed? And I don't know about you, but I felt this, not weight in a negative way, a responsibility that we have to stand up and we have to do this business and we have to continue to do it with excellence the way that Mary Kay would. And we need to rise to that position, yes, but I believe where you are is a great place to start. I don't think you have to be a national sales director. And so we've got to rise up. We've got to be really, really clear. And then I would say to you, are you doing this business, living the life that you want your people to emulate? And so whether that is on social media, not on social media, if that's how you're holding your parties, you're not holding your, whatever it is that if you had a unit full of you, would that be a good thing? Would you be an example of living a full circle life? And would you be proud of that? Because they don't know all the rest of us. They may not know top trip directors, or they may not know Cadillac directors. So if you're sitting in those seats and you're thinking, yeah, but I'm just a little old sales, if I hear that one more time. Like, be proud where you are, you guys. You are the leader, and they are looking to you. So be proud. Don't take on a mantle of, I'm not good enough, or I'm not enough. You are. You are the leader that God created for your people. So stand up to it and act like it and be proud of who you are and where you are. And I believe if we each do that, then we will rise up. The Nationals will rise up, and this company will rise up because of you.
Paula?
So back in the day, I would walk into my parents' house, and that was back in the day that I would accessorize a lot.
Oh my gosh.
And so
I can only imagine.
I had all of these necklaces.
What did that look like?
Okay, so I had all of these necklaces on. And my dad was like, I like your necklaces. And I'm like, I go, thanks. I said, my theory about accessorizing is when in doubt, add one more. So my dad says, well, how much doubt were you in this? To my defense, it's just one necklace.
It's fun.
say, I have no doubt, none, that our company is positioned for just such a time as this. And you are positioned, divinely made, anointed and appointed for just such a time as this. And I have no doubt that you are so gifted and so ready and so fired up to go home and do the job that you need to do. And so Mary Kay would always say in her book, you work in this order: you, new, and the few. And in that order. And so if you ever get confused, and you might, if you ever stub your toe, and you might, if you ever have a $0 face average, and you might, if you ever get porched in, you might. You, the new, and the few. You just have to trust that the you is right where she's supposed to be. And the new is ready for you. And the few is also ready to rise up. So my friends, let's go do this thing.